with the most broken people. Can be great leaders.
His people did not call him general or king. They called him Kukulkan, the feather serpent god. Killing him will risk eternal war.
He's coming for the surface world.
We know what you whisper. They have lost their protector. Now is our time to strike. Show them who we are.
Hello and welcome to the periodic table of awesome. Oh, that is a absolutely wonderful trailer. I had a very
I enjoy
good
the
time.
trailer.
Yeah,
I had a wonderful time watching that trailer and feeling a lot of emotions pouring through me watching that trailer, and I hope everyone else did watching the trailer again. Anyway,
I feel like you're really playing your cards very early.
I really liked the No Woman No Cry trailer. That was
So did
my
I.
favorite trailer.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think that was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. I
Right.
love the trailer.
well, good. Look, hello, hey, hello, everyone, and hello to Jill, and hello to Quinny, and hello to the chat.
Hi.
As I've just discovered it right now,
Mm.
the chat isn't working on the stream, so good times for that, and
Oh, bugger.
that's a problem for later. Um,
Okay.
What, future Dion's problem?
yeah, that sounds like a problem for later, Dion, to fix. Not one that I
That's
can
okay.
actually fix right now.
More
don't-
importantly, I think this is one of those ones that when it goes out onto YouTube, sorry, there's just no chat.
doesn't matter.
Sorry.
Rest assured, there is a chat there.
Yes.
Yes.
Not some
And
chavs.
we can still see it.
Yes, and we're still there, and we kind of like are interested in that. But what are we
Yes.
what are we reviewing today? Anything?
We are reviewing Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. It's not Black Panther 2. It's Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Right.
Mhm.
Which is, of course, the follow-up to the extraordinarily successful Black Panther. And now the film that I believe is the official end to Phase 4.
Oh.
Well, thank fuck Phase 4 is over because it had some clangers.
Oh. See,
The clanger
I'm
is-
back on it as to what, where did Phase 4 start and where does it end? And it's been a weird couple of years.
I'm gonna go then. If this is maybe this is a strange coincidence, but maybe Marvel phases are like the phases of the Superman movies. So Superman the original one, great. Superman 2 is kind of okay. Superman 3 is a little weird, and then Superman 4 is just something we don't speak about too much. Because
Do you have a problem with Nuclear Man?
yeah, and growing long fingernails and all that kind of stuff. Like maybe that's just a good metaphor for saying Phase 4 is when Marvel kind of went, shit. Maybe Phase 4 was kind of just rushing the projects through pretty quickly to get them all wrapped up because they had other things to go. I don't know.
You know what? They killed it on TV during Phase
Yes.
4.
Yeah,
I
that's
think the
thing.
movies is where they fell flat.
I think there was because I was about to argue with you over this because I actually think Phase 4 has had some really fucking strong storytelling, but mostly it was in the TV.
Yes.
And out of that, they've done a lot of world building, a lot of really big stories and stuff like that. But yeah, it's through a different medium, and a lot of the films that have been Phase 4 have been a bit ho hum. Okay, yeah, maybe not quite. And that brings us to Wakanda Forever.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
Now, yes.
Did you like the first Black Panther movie?
Love the first Black Panther movie.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes. I had a problem with the way it ended, but I loved it.
Yeah, it didn't end well, did it? Like,
I just really disagree with killing Killmonger. I don't think he was a person that deserved death at the end of that film.
Nope.
He deserved a redemption arc and didn't get it.
Yeah, and interestingly, I remember reading somewhere that like Marvel has this real problem with villains, and a lot of the superhero movies have this problem with villains where they actually set up a very relatable villain, and then they have to have the villain kill a dog or something so that you actually go, oh no, they're actually evil.
Yeah, like I'd argue that a lot of their great villains are just actually anti-heroes.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that the problem that we have with Black Adam? Which, I mean, again, I don't understand where Black Adam fits in this franchise. No?
Way off to the side.
Yeah. They're just covering the whole African continent. Any hero in Africa has got to be determined by being black. Yeah.
And yet they won't talk about colonialism. Anyway.
I don't know. I thought they gave colonialism a bit of quite the talking to in this one.
I mean, I do like all of that. And if anyone wants to watch an interesting show about colonialism, you can watch the ABC show The Stuff the British Stole.
You mean everything?
Yeah. Pretty much. And also, or if you want to watch John Oliver's recent Have a Crack at the Monarchy. Yeah. Also pretty good. But, that's not what this one's about. This one was I guess must have been, this one, I would say, I get the feeling that this was probably the most difficult Marvel movie they've made because it had so many challenges that I am much more forgiving of it than I would be if it were made, in a perfect kind of...
Sure.
Does that make sense? That's a caveat.
Yeah, there were a set of circumstances that hindered the film. There was a script that was written and then it had to be completely trashed and rewritten to fit the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman.
Yep. Yeah. And then having to make a film trying to figure out how do we make a film that carries on a story but then also pays, reference and deference to the actor that came before, and then also create something that allows the continuation and then also adds too many things in a pot. It's a very weird jambalaya.
Yeah.
And that's where it's a bit weird.
Shall I give you a synopsis?
Yes.
And then we can actually dive into it, because the funny thing is, I feel like we've all got some very interesting takes on this.
Do you want some music in there, Quinny?
I would love some music if I could. And yes, there will be no accents.
Well, not this time.
Thank fuck, because we're all watching ourselves here, very aware that this is a very white group of people talking about a very different group of people's film.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the colonialist's view of Wakanda Forever. Queen Ramonda, Shuri, M'Baku, Okoye, and the Dora Milaje fight to protect their nation from intervening world powers in the wake of King T'Challa's death. As the Wakandans strive to embrace their next chapter, these heroes must band together with Nakia and Everett Ross to forge a new path for their beloved kingdom. This is a synopsis that doesn't mention any of the other
best
half
part
of the film.
Of the movie?
What the fuck? That's the official synopsis from Marvel. Okay, cool. So the other half of that synopsis is there is an entirely different kingdom that has been in existence for hundreds of years that nobody knows about, who also has the power and control of vibranium. And they are the Talokans. And they are led by Namor, and that's where we're at.
Okay. As opposed to the Atlanteans, who were...
So Should we address the first thing of the whole history change?
Let's address the winged freak in the room.
I love what they did with. I'm gonna pronounce it Namor because I like that better than Namor from Atlantis.
Yeah.
I think
Namor, whose
giving
name is just Roman backwards.
yeah, I think giving a character with a long history, something rooted in actual real world history, a really smart move. And it's not just another diversity ploy thing. I think it's another clever thing that Marvel does with rooting stuff in the real world.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
basing the Atlanteans on an ancient Mayan civilization called Talokan is so fascinating and just the best part of this movie. And the origin of Namor's name is just incredible as well.
I like that. I dug that. I also like that the imagery around Namor, or Kukulkan, as Mbako is so nice to pronounce for us very clearly.
Yes.
And fucking shout out to Mbaku, the MVP of this film, as far as I'm concerned.
Sure.
Yeah, his design is based entirely on Quetzalcoatl, the winged serpent, who is an interesting historical character in Mayan Aztec beliefs. And I went down a rabbit hole recently, started watching a series on Netflix called Ancient Apocalypses.
Cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Aliens.
It's got a lot of the aliens vibes, but yeah, it's really, really good. It's actually it's fucking trash, but it's really interesting. It's enjoyable trash, and it's all about the idea that there was perhaps another civilization towards the end of the Ice Age that disappeared, and then because of all the Ice Age and the floods and fires and everything like that, and then what was left of them educated the next civilizations. So, which is why you get all these massive pyramids all over the world and stuff like that. So it's a little Chariots of the Gods, but it's not entirely. And one of the characters that comes up is Quetzalcoatl, who is both seen as a god, but also as a wanderer, and this winged serpent character who educates and brings the Mayans the Mayans, up technologically. So I love that they've kind of gone, okay, let's use this piece of mythology and tie it to Namor and build a whole really, really rooted sort of mythology in there. I love that.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm going to refer to him as Namor, though, because I'm Australian and we've got to murder vowels.
Okay.
Namor.
You do whatever you're comfortable with.
Absolutely. Australia is a continent surrounded by sea. Namor would know about us. He'd be like, nah.
Yeah. There are so many times I say that things that I love about this, and then there's something that I'll go like, but.
There is some great moments in this film. Like, I mean,
let me get my
honest.
notes app out.
Yeah, okay. While you're getting your notes app out, this is great. Like, I had a great time watching pieces of this film, and then watching it, and then we watch it being hot glued together on the floor of a convention, like a cosplayer whose stuff has fallen apart and they don't know what to do. Was a little
They're at
bit
the
like,
repair station.
Oh shit! Right? Okay.
Shoes.
Okay, so the beginning of the film, the beautiful tribute to Chadwick and T'Challa was so moving, and I was not prepared to be crying in the first 2 minutes of a movie.
I
haven't cried that quickly since the first opening scenes of Up.
Oh,
the same kind of thing.
Agree,
like, oh, that's a bit of a gut punch straight away.
I'm going to give you all of my sort of but whys or responses to it, because I thought it was a lovely.
We are missing Peter. Someone does have to but why.
Yeah, it wasn't. Not even so much of a but why, but a yeah but. I loved the ceremony and everything. I was weirded out that there was no one else there. Like there were no other Avengers. Bucky not there. People who have actually been friends with T'Challa. Like the complete lack of anyone else there, I was like, okay. Maybe there was another ceremony. It that felt kind of a little odd. And for some reason, the flying of the coffin up into the thing, I just went, oh, that's weird.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. I was just,
Yeah,
it
a
was
little
like
bit weird.
everything was so meaningful, and then the coffin
Yep.
went on whoop, and I went,
Yeah, it was like, "Merp." I'm like, okay.
yeah. Everything else, I was like, oh wow, this is amazing. And then that did
Yeah.
that, and I was just like,
Oh,
okay.
but then the completely silent title card for Chadwick was just, it was like, okay, well, if the start didn't make me cry, then I'm crying over this part now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That is a
that
great
stuff
opening.
was beautiful.
Yeah, weird but strong opening. We are all in
Yeah.
there. And I
Yeah.
like they just addressed it straight away. It's like, no getting around
Yes.
this. We're going to go straight
Yes.
through it. Yes.
Yep. No, it was good.
And I'm like, and then where did we go to from there?
They don't
Okay,
know.
then
Everyone
open
panicked.
Okay, so then we get the exploration of the Atlantic Ocean and the discovery of vibranium outside of Wakanda. Why do you cast Lake Bell in a film and then, is this a spoiler? I'm sure everyone here has seen it. Kill her in the first scene she's in.
I mean,
This is a woman that voice acts Black Widow in the animated stuff, is a very prolific TV actress, and has been cast in a Marvel film and is now dead.
I mean, I'm quite encouraging of watching a lot of white people die in this film. It's
Sure.
kind of fine.
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, it was a little bit strange because then it sort of felt like it was this whole attitude towards the funeral and stuff was done quite well, but it was an
Yeah.
addendum to what they thought they were going to open with, which was that action scene.
Yeah.
That went straight into
Sure.
that kind. And this is what I say. I kind of get it. Like, they had a lot of challenges and they had to try to stitch this thing together. And when it didn't work, the seams were showing. And when it did work, it was like, that's a nice piece. That's handcrafted. I like that. That's quite good. You've done a good job there. But why is it stuck on there with just paste?
So that's when we get our first look at the Talokans, when they invade the ship and kill everybody on board, basically.
And
I love the
that.
siren song thing that they do too.
That's amazing. Like
Yeah.
basically, I kind of look at them and just go, the Talokans are an amazing group of people who probably could easily have their own movie because everything they did was pretty great. Except,
okay, so here's my problem. We got to see what Talokan looked like, but that was it. We don't know anything about these people. We don't know what they like to do. We don't know who they worship besides Namor. We don't know what their motives are. They're just there as a piece. And it's like, if you're going to introduce a character and a race in this film, can we maybe get a little bit more information?
And that's why I think the first Black Panther worked so well, is because what it did was create a world. Like, it built all of Wakanda. And, suddenly we knew about the mountain tribe, the river tribes, all of the different, people of Wakanda. We learned about the politics. We learned about the place. As far as I'm aware, Talokan is a very nice deep swimming pool with some people going.
And they can't afford for all of them to talk. Only two.
Only two. And also not quite sure, are they blue or are they not blue? Are they only blue
They
when
only
they're out
seem
of
to
the
turn
water?
blue when they come out of the water, which is like another thing that's not explained.
Yeah.
And also, it's like, I'm
how
not
powerful are they? Because I'm not sure.
Also, how
they seem
old
to
are
be
they?
impervious to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, until they're not, but then
Don't
they
know
come back
what
to
the
life.
don't know what
How
the
old are they all?
extent
Are
of
they
it
all
is.
very old? Are they all not very old?
No, I believe Namor is the only one that's hundreds of years old because he is a mutant.
Mm.
They use
Ooh.
don't. Oh, spoilers! M word.
Yes, I think
That's-
everybody knew
That's the
that,
second
yes.
time.
he was the next official mutant.
Didn't they retcon
Mm.
him that he was like in the comics? He's actually the first mutant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, which is just kind of like cool. Stop trying to make Namor cool. Fish people aren't cool. Aquaman wasn't cool. Aquaman 2 was probably not. Hey, did they make Aquaman
Yeah.
2?
It hasn't come out
No,
yet.
it hasn't come
Yeah, but
out
they are
yet.
making it right. Yes.
It's
Yes.
kicking around WB
Yeah.
somewhere.
No one wants to see
Maybe.
Avatar.
Oh,
don't
this is the
understand
movie
this.
that Avatar wishes it's going to be.
Yeah, I did see the
Kind
chat
of.
making a really good point that this movie suffered quite badly from having a trailer to Avatar in front of it.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, oh, hang on, blue people in the water.
Oh,
Hang on, what are we doing here? Shit.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was just I've like because I don't want to give too much away in spoilers. It's only been out for a week, less than a week, really.
Yeah.
It's you want to see it if you're a completionist of Marvel films. I think one of the biggest problems I had with it added nothing to the overall Marvel narrative to me. Like, I mean,
Exactly.
this is, and
Hmm.
some people might say, oh no, but it added bits and pieces. But I watched this and I was like, this has nothing to do with Marvel. It has something to do with the Wakanda verse, which is great because I think Wakanda and that surrounds is actually a really cool opportunity for the filmmakers to show off African culture or African based fantasy culture, which is
Hmm.
cool. And I want to see more of it, but I just kind of go, there is no linking thread to this.
You know what they did try to do to link it was the inclusion of Everett Ross and Val
Yeah.
Who?
as just two pieces of living exposition in a movie that was completely uncalled for.
You know, that really
well-
cool character from the end of the Black Widow film.
Yeah, hey, remember
Hmm.
this lady that we've been teasing in our TV shows and in stingers from films? Well, here she is.
Yeah.
And she doesn't do anything.
And she hangs out with Everett Ross.
Yeah. And here's that guy from the other movie that also does nothing.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
interesting you say that they're the vehicles for exposition because the biggest problem I had with the film is that they were just we're going to have a scene, now we're going to have a lot of exposition.
Yeah.
We're going to have some battle and stuff, here have some more exposition. We're
Because
going to
it
have some
was-
backstory, more exposition.
Because this was 3 origin stories in one movie,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
which
and
was a
don't
sequel.
even get me started on one that didn't happen.
Which one that
Oh.
didn't happen? Well,
Oh, an origin story that didn't happen. Riri Williams.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah.
Have you ever seen a MacGuffin be more MacGuffin-y?
I would have been so fucking pissed if I was that actor to be like,
Right?
yeah, I get to be like the next Iron Man. I'm Ironheart. I've got this
Yeah,
fucking.
Except we don't spend enough, camera on you to even give you a story besides you have to be a vehicle to move the plot.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was. Yeah. That.
It's
okay.
like, oh, come to Wakanda and build your Iron Man armor from your locked computer that is on the display screens in a lab somehow, even though your computer is locked. Why can we see everything? And you have the unlimited resources of Wakanda to build your Iron Man armor, but we're not going to show anybody how you do it except you bash on some copper.
And
and
then
then-
you spray paint.
Yeah.
And you're like,
and then
they
you
have
have
nanotech.
the sleekest looking fucking Iron Man suit you'd ever seen that just kind of pops out after a week's worth of work.
But also the first suit that she builds that you see, her flying around in. At no point in time did you spend enough time close to her to see what the fuck it even was.
Yeah.
So I looked at it and just went,
Mm.
is it a backpack? Is it this? I have no idea what was going on with that, and I got really frustrated with that.
Do we know anything about her besides her name and that she has an armor?
She's 19. She was
We
very smart.
have absolutely no personality for her whatsoever.
she built a vibranium detector.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which
That's
I
it.
mean, why it wasn't just picking up Cap's shield all the time? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like there.
that was annoying.
I'll
I'm
put my
glad she's
cards-
getting a TV show, but God, what a waste to put her in this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like there are so many characters that are trying to be serviced, and I feel like this is one of those problems that the film really struggles under the weight of a massive cast of people that. But then I recently watched Endgame again and went, "Holy shit! There's a film that services its characters."
Yeah.
This one, you know, we've got
There's
characters
a
like
whole bunch of
Okoye.
characters in there that just add nothing to the story.
Yeah,
They
like,
serve no purpose.
half of the Dora Milaje who show up do something cool. One of them gets some new weapons, and then the other gets kind of forgotten about, and then they get a new armor that looks kind of dope.
Oh God, I want to talk about the fucking Midnight Angels as well.
Yeah.
Shit.
We're getting on quite well because it's almost halfway through now. But I just I want to shout out some good things that I enjoyed.
And then I'm going to go back to the bad stuff.
No, absolutely. Okay, I'm not getting on top of any of that, Jill. We'll go straight through. But I did want to shout
get right
out
off
to,
of that thing.
Yeah, let me get right off there. I want to give a shout out to Angela Bassett as Queen Ramonda in this, who gave a very great performance. Everything she did, and every time she was on screen, I was like, that lady fucks. Like she does,
and nobody fucks with her.
Nobody fucks with her. Yeah, like every time she just owned every scene she was in, and that was brilliant to watch. So yeah, Angela Bassett, amazing. I actually,
and I can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Hang on, is that a spoiler?
What is?
Well, I think Karina just spoiled it in the chat, so go ahead.
Well, you know.
Okay.
Hey, I mean, you know, don't go too far.
I will cover it in spoiler territory, but there was something around her character that I actually found significantly more moving than other parts of the film.
Sure.
Right.
So yes.
I also would like to say I liked Tenoch Huerta as Namor because I thought he gave a really good performance, but he was limited with some terrible other things around
awful
him.
Script.
Yeah. But I mean, I really liked it, and I agree with you, Jill. I thought that the way that they interspiced the new history of the whole place, great, like good idea. But yeah, unfortunately, I felt like the rest of the Wakandans kind of all blended together in a bad way, and I think the least convincing performance was Letitia Wright. Through this, even though she had, you know, a lot of weight on her shoulder. Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know,
though I will also say, Nakia, once again, another character who should be massively important, who I actually kind of came away from going,
again,
what did she do again?
She didn't have much to do. But I mean, Denai Guerrera, she was amazing because I like her every time she's on screen.
Okoye.
And
I think Okoye. Yeah. I wanted Okoye to be the new Black Panther.
Kind of. And but Letitia Wright and Denai Guerrera was great. Yeah, and
okay, let me go back to my rant. Okay.
Do we need spoilers for this or no?
No.
Okay, all right.
So Letitia had the opportunity to dominate as the new lead and was completely outshone by Angela Bassett and Denai and Lupita and anyone else.
Tenoch.
And Tenoch, yeah. Even fucking M'Baku. Like, here's someone that we got a glimpse of their personality from the first film, from what was that Avengers one? Infinity War. Yes, she was in Infinity War.
Yeah, no. I was also like, she was in Endgame as well, but no.
So this was her chance to step up and lead in this film, but her character development is pulled in so many different directions that it's just defeated by the plot. Like there's nothing for her to do because she's flip-flopping all over the place. You know, she made a point of not being her brother, but made choices that were completely in spite of him, and was baited into making those decisions by someone that she did not like. And it pushed the film in a direction it didn't need to go, I felt.
I think
her character made all of the decisions that carried that plot, and it was her fault what happened at the end, and it should not have happened.
Agreed. I also had a real problem with I don't know, like in the previous film, she was likable
Mm,
and she was, you know, cheeky and funny and had a spark to her that made you go, "Fuck, I like that character. That's great." And
yeah.
in this, it got stripped away from her. And I know that this is a story about loss and
Yeah.
revenge and stuff like that. But for me, my biggest problem with the film, and I hate to say it, I have a lot of problems with the film. I think it's a
Mm.
fucking mess.
Oh
But
God, yes.
but my biggest problem with the film is that at the very heart of it, the first film had Chadwick Boseman as this charismatic, lovable, likable, you know, magnetic thing that made you go through the film. So even if it does
Yeah.
have a dopey ending, you can follow with that.
He was a straight arrow guy, but he also had like qualities to him that,
Yeah.
you know, gave his character more depth.
And this one, they were pinning it all on Shuri, but then they changed her character too much.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, you have the thing that was meant to be the through line, you've actually kind of severed. And I went, "Oh,
Yeah. Like, I get it. Grief is not linear, but also your writing dictates how this character behaves. And I just think that she was really let down by the writing, but also I think her acting performance was not good either.
yeah."
I don't know if she can recover from this movie as well as all of the stupid comments that she's made in the past in her personal life.
Yeah.
I can definitely say that after this movie, I fucking hate Shuri. And I liked her in the first one, so great.
Yeah. I really, I struggle with that, and I found it so frustrating.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we didn't have the real kind of the thing of Killmonger, you know, who was a really strong bad guy who you understood his motivations and everything like that, and then that was balanced out against, you know, the Black Panther, and this one just it felt massively unbalanced.
Yeah, I mean, for the decisions she was making, there just didn't seem like there was any motivation behind it. So it was
Yeah.
it was weird choices.
Sure. Well, interestingly, interesting in weird choices. But sorry, Quinny, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, I know that the thing is, there's a lot that we can talk about this film. And
Sure.
Dion and
The
I had a
terrible
conversation.
fight choreography, the failure at trying to be another political film.
The absolutely insane way that it just diminishes half the characters occasionally for no reason. That you go, well, you're just losing some. You're losing some of the cast we were concerned about, and you're sticking with some of the cast that we don't give a shit about. You know,
Awful costumes. Can I talk about the
Sure.
Midnight Angels?
Oh, yeah.
I
Like-
why not?
Can I ask a question about them? Why,
Yeah.
in the world of like Iron Man and even Ironheart and all those kinds of things, and even the very beautiful Black Panther costume that, you know, rolls over in nanotech, do those things look dumb as fuck? They look like they came out of a Blade 2 costume department and then had some extra tassels put on them. And I was like, what?
Do you know they are very close to the comic design, just with extra tassels? And the comic design is fucking garbage as well.
Oh.
There is
I didn't realize
literally,
they were actually a full
I
comic.
can barely see any kind of like historical or cultural significance
Yeah.
to the design of the costume.
Which is it's so
And I
you're
really
right, they
wonder
are.
why they went for that look and not just completely redesign it with something more MCU Wakandan in mind, because those costumes were hideous.
And also, they undercut themselves by having one of the characters say, "They're ugly and I hate them."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if Okoye, who we like, is looking at the costumes going, "No, they're fucked and ugly. I don't want to wear them," we're all going to agree with her.
And also, why did they even need to do the Midnight Angels? Like, they made
Yeah.
the Dora Milaje an elite force anyway. The Midnight Angels were just the elite force of the Dora Milaje. I don't know why they needed to bother.
Yeah,
But also, a few of the other costumes were just printed lycra and they looked really cheap. Like, Nakia's outfit that she wore when she infiltrated Talokan was printed lycra. Some of those guard dudes that were like in the throne room, like giving some report, were in printed lycra. It was fucking cheap. And
Yeah,
I
I
know
didn't
that they
even-
had the costume designers back from the original film, so I just don't know why there was no effort put in.
I did think the Midnight Angel thing was a real weird flex because we've spent 2 films and multiple TV series and everything saying how incredibly awesome the Dora Milaje are.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what I would have loved to have seen is them putting out, like being told you have to wear the armor, and then going, no, fuck the armor, we're faster and better without it. Like, you're giving us technology we don't need. What we fight with is, skill and our spears and our speed. There's a story that I can get behind, but putting them in the armor and then having them fly around like more Iron Men.
I'm just sick of like, why are we still paying lip service to the comics? Like, haven't we moved away from that yet? I know that it's all derived from it, but we don't have to keep, winking and nudging at the audience saying we did the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
Even with the Imperious Rex line that they made Namor
that
say,
actually fucked
and
me
I'm
off.
like, why did this has no relevance because
Nope.
it's not a Roman civilization
Nope.
anymore. It's fucking Mayan. Why would he be saying Latin?
In a different language. Like it was spoken in
In
Talokan,
Mayan, yeah.
but it was in Latin, and I went,
I'm like, fuck
"What?"
me. Yeah, no. I know.
yeah, it was very strange, and
Stupid shit.
I had
A
some
lot of stupid shit in this movie.
Okay,
See,
well,
and like Rob's saying that they made a massive departure from the comics with Namor's origin. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's fine. Yeah, it's weird when you have to try and hove close to it. Yeah. Like the fact that Namor is a mutant, cool. But let's just put it out there.
Sure.
The ankle wings are dumb.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, of all the science and magic in this movie, I don't think that was my biggest problem.
It
I
was
just
kind
looked at
of
that, and
they
what we were
kind of
saying
dumb.
today, Dion. What were we saying?
Just they're fucking stupid. Like, I mean, and look, you don't just because it exists in a comic book doesn't mean you have to add it in there. Just like the wings on the side of Cap's helmet, were they dumb? Yes. Did they put a nod to them? Yes. And they could have easily put a nod to them on Namor by just having some feathers on his ankles as part of
Tattoo,
his
maybe.
costume,
Yeah.
anything like that. But they
Yeah.
looked really dumb.
Give them a different use of vibranium. Like the Talokans use vibranium differently, which then explains why he can fly or something like that.
Yeah.
Keep giving him the power.
And I don't know who was paying for all of the special effects in this, but the budget was much lower than expected for a high quality, sort of tentpole thing. Because most of the time, you just look at. I was watching even, looking for clips and trailers of this. I was like, green screen, green screen, green screen, green screen. Like it was.
Oh
just
my
that
god,
kind
the
of
clunky CG when Riri's mask went up
that
when
was
they were on the
terrible,
ship
wasn't
and
it?
it was what
Yeah.
inside
It's
there.
like,
I'm like, wow, shouldn't be seeing that on a fucking
no.
big screen. Jesus.
No. It's kind of It left me feeling just a little bit hollow.
Yeah.
Really, much like the way you get into Talokan in that Hollow Earth theory. Again, strange. Also, hey,
Yes.
geography. How does that work? We don't know. Things can just happen. Rivers
Yeah.
all connect, and that's
They have
why.
those little whirlpool tunnels that they can travel really
Whirlpool.
fast, and apparently they can just like pop up out of nowhere too.
Yeah, in the middle of
Sure.
that's how it's the
In the middle of a
Hollow Earth theory.
landlocked Wakanda. Sure.
Also, who's designing the ships for the Wakandan Navy? That's so dumb.
That's a
How
dumbass shit.
the fuck did they get out into the Atlantic that quickly?
Also, if you can literally make things that fucking fly, why are you making things that
Why
float?
do you need a ship?
Yeah.
Why do you want to be in the water where they can get you?
Yeah.
Float above the
Oh
water.
my God.
Yeah.
And just like do this down at
Although one thing I will say, I really like the way the Talokans got around, and I especially like the fact that orcas and shit would carry them around, and then they'd flick them up. But not at one point did they ever mention how they communicated with the fish.
Yeah.
Not even like it's a piece of technology. They raise them as pets, like anything to do whatsoever.
But
Yeah.
this is the problem with Talokan in general, is that whilst it's like visually beautiful
Yeah.
and it has an interesting history and everything, we've
We
got no
get
fucking clue what their
nothing else.
society is.
Absolutely
I took
nothing else.
yeah no
The
yeah.
one thing
we,
I
we
did
were
like
we were a
oh,
tribe
yeah.
of people. We took some drugs and we lived in the ocean.
The one thing I did like is that they used elements of Aztec culture. I'm never sure whether it's Aztec or Mayan, one of the two.
Yeah, they kind of derived from the same area.
The whole thing, there's a game that they play where they
Ancient basketball.
yeah, where they bash with their hips.
Yeah.
Like, and I love that was essentially their main cultural
Touchstone
pinpoint that they did for that culture, is like they do the thing with their hips, so let's just make them throw exploding balls with their hips all the time.
Could someone just do help me out? And I mean, you don't have to do it right now, even if someone in the chat can just look it up there. Can someone please just remind me which fish has feathers? Because a lot of the Talokans are covered in very ornate feathers that come from a rainforest, and they live underwater. Where the fuck are they getting all the feathers from?
I like to think that maybe it's some of those really beautiful lionfishes and stuff like that.
Oh, fuck off with the flying fish. They don't have feathers. No, in the chat. It's like,
I was like, lion.
No fucking flying fish. Yeah.
Anyway,
Because
that was left over from their land culture.
Yeah.
I don't know why it didn't
feathers.
evolve in the 300 years that they were living under the ocean, but whatever.
Yeah, I've also known feathers to last a long time when exposed to seawater.
And stay coloured.
Yeah, and stay coloured. I mean, hey, whatever, where we go.
Yeah,
We're going off a little bit too
Rob's
much.
got that one.
Anyway.
Too much long now. Okay, quick rating, then a clip, and then back to more discussion of Black Panther.
Sure.
Oh, and okay, so everybody in the chat, please, if you have seen it, drop your ratings out of 100. You know how it goes. And I will start writing down notes in the document.
I shall go first because that will give Quinny some time to write down. And Jill, you can savor your moment before you go. Look, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, or Wakanda Forever, if it was going to be made in Australia. It's got some great moments in it, but the too many marks came off for just weird shit. Like, I'm watching it, and by the end of it, I was like, I still don't know if I give a shit why, but I still want to see more of Wakanda, and I want to see all the people in it and doing cool things, but I want to see also how it matches with the rest of the Marvel place. Again, it's a mess of Phase 4. It's a mess of the Phase 4, and a bad way to end, like a terrible ending to Phase 4, but Phase 4 was terrible anyway, so I don't know, 50? Present? Which is less marks too. So why it comes down to 50 is because it has all the pieces for a really good film, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I'm not far off you, Dion. I'm going with 55. For the bits that I did like, there was still too many things that let it down. Loved Namor. Did he have any sort of regal standing in his cinematography or music backing? No. Did they give him the gravitas that he needed as a god and a king and a ruler of a secret nation? No. Was the story any good? No. Did the main character that was supposed to, start a new stem of like this MCU actually live up to any sort of standard? Fuck no. Unfortunately, it was the supporting characters that shone the brightest, and they weren't there for the majority of the film. So I'm really pissed off with this movie.
I've got an additional thing which I can't do till spoilers come through, but there is a moment that is a definite spoiler at the end of the film, which seems to completely undercut the entire point of the film.
Yes, and I hate it.
I'm looking forward to having a big discussion about that one.
Yeah. Anyway, Quinny, what did you have?
I was going to be slightly more generous than you guys, but the more we've talked about it, the more I've gone, no, there are lots of parts of it. Like when, and the harsh thing is I look at this and I look at Black Adam you know, and I gave Black Adam 70 or something stupid like that. I think this has so many of the bits that could make a good film and make a better film. And like, there are so many moments in it that are full of really beautiful things. And I love the cultural elements of it. And I like the the building of the Marvel world by giving us the Talokans and giving us history and yada, 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 all that shit. But the film itself's a fucking mess.
Yeah.
It is a hot mess that doesn't have a clear through line, and no matter how good the actors are that you put in it, if they're not given enough to work with, the whole thing falls over. So yeah, for me, it's a 55, I think. Yeah.
Wow, I came on lower than all of you.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I came out
you're
lower
angry
than
old
all of
man.
you. Yeah,
You're
well,
angry old man.
I mean, it's so annoying
Like-
because I like the Talokans.
Yeah.
They're great, and they had great physical presence, like in the actor supporting name Namor. And I liked every time I saw everyone but Shuri on screen in Wakanda because it was great. But then,
Actually, sorry, I'm going up slightly. I'm going up to 58.
oh,
Oh, okay.
why? What did you get
I
there?
did- I
You
was
do
just like,
you, whatever.
Yeah, no, I just had that thing of going. It, if I'm I have to compare it to Black Adam just because, like, they're two shitty messes of a film, but one of them,
One of them
is
had charm.
exactly. This one was missing its charm very badly.
Yeah.
And okay, everyone's going, fuck, 70 for Black Adam. I'm like, yeah, but it was likable. This actually kind of wasn't likable.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Shall we
Well,
have
good.
a clip and then we'll get
Sure.
spoilery?
What clip would you like to see? We have a clip of the attack on Wakanda by the Talokan nation. Are they a nation? I don't know. The Talokan mercenaries, or do we want to see the conversation between Queen Ramunda, and Namor as he comes and has a chat to those guys? Which one do you want to see? You know what's more interesting? Probably the chat between
Thank you.
Namor and those, because the Wakanda defense one is just kind of like, cool, there's water in
Yeah,
Wakanda.
and Karina's like, let Angela Bassett speak, and we
Yes,
shall.
yes, yes. My apologies, Angela Bassett. The floor is yours.
Stop! Right there! Who are you? And how did you get in here?
This place is amazing. The air is pristine. And the water. My mother told stories about a place like this. A protected land with people that never have to leave, that never have to change who they were. What reason do you have to reveal your secret to the world?
I am not a woman who enjoys repeating herself. Who are you?
I have many names. My people call me Khan. But my enemies call me Namor. I need to know. If you want.
Oh yes, his enemies call him Namor. Quoth the Raven.
It's such
Namor.
a sexy voice.
Yes.
So
yes,
Dion,
and
you were saying you had some problems with
Hey?
our boy in Namor.
I didn't like. I mean, as I said, I only have a problem with some of the writing and the stupid ankle wings. The rest of it, though, I think it wasn't the Namor from the comics, and
No.
that's why. Like any problem that I had with that, it was like, why was he not supremely fucking arrogant? Like, because that's what he is in the comics. He is literally the ruler god of an entire race of people, and he gets incredibly pissed off if you don't treat him as such. Whereas in this one I can sort of see what's happened, but also like a guy that's been around for a few hundred years, like he's a few hundred years old, he's pretty dumb. Like he makes some pretty dumb kind of decisions about this, like also I get a real big feeling that he could easily take over most of the planet if he felt like it. So why is he picking on Wakanda?
I just did not get like any aura from him at all. There was no levity to, I guess, like any. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, his performance was fine, but like he wasn't treated with any sort of disparity to anyone else. It
No.
just seemed like another set piece. And I feel like that's where they kind of let him down as either an antagonist or a villain, because we didn't get any sort of danger from him, and we
No.
didn't really get to connect with him enough either.
And also, I think the way that they set up his locations, like the his kind of throne room, not so much throne room, the little area that he spent a lot of time talking to Shuri, I was actually like, this feels really small and cheap. Like it felt like a small room with some big paintings in the background, and I'm like, give the dude a fucking throne
Well, you
room.
didn't
I feel
like the
like-
big shark tooth, like shark
I
jaw
love that,
throne?
but then to
That
give
was
him a scene in
great.
that
Give
fucking
us
room.
more of that. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
lighting was bad, the blocking was bad. I'm sorry, Ryan Coogler, but you directed a poor film.
I mean, this is the point.
Yeah.
Like, I think you get like Wakanda looked amazing and was beautiful and visual and gave you an immediate sense of place.
Yeah,
The
but you
thing with-
kind of rely on that from the first film doing
Yeah.
all the hard work.
And Talokan in this one was just like, this is a dingy underwater hole.
Yeah, here's a little like dark thing with some lights. You can't really see what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, why are they so good at things? Why are they happy living here? Why haven't they just been like, actually, I like sunlight?
Yeah, like there are so many stories of and you know what? If you're gonna lean in on the whole Quetzalcoatl thing and the Aztec and Mayan thing, make them live in a fucking golden city. Make this El Dorado. You know,
Yeah.
give us that grand nature of what Talokan is. Make it a place that everybody goes, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, why not put it on the same level as the grandeur of Wakanda,
Yeah,
but under the water?
yeah,
Yeah.
gigantic pyramids, everything made out of vibranium or gold or whatever. Give it some scope, but everything about it felt oddly small and dark and underlit. And I mean, I got the idea that, they were trying to say this is architecture for people who float. Therefore, it's not flat. It's not, and it's deep. And therefore, but that means that we don't have any kind of scope to it. We don't know what that actually means. And they're talking about having a gigantic army, and I'm fucked if I saw them.
Yeah, Rob makes a really good point. Like the underwater sun. Tell us more about that. Like they have so many different points of difference in terms of their vibranium technology, but we never got to explore any of it.
Because we were so busy following Shuri around and... Okay, we are in spoiler territory, aren't we? Should we have our spoiler logo up? Yeah.
I'll tell you who still holds weight, even in the afterlife. Fucking Killmonger. When he showed up, when Shuri went to the astral plane, I was like, hot damn! Oh my god! I was not expecting to see Eric there, and I was definitely not expecting to feel the same like presence that he had from the film. The way that he was just able to goad Shuri into doing exactly what he wanted was ridiculous. I'm like, that was her moment to say, no, I'm not like you and I'm not like my brother. I'm going to do things my way and this is going to be it. And then go and do something fucking good. Don't go and start a fight with another nation who was very open about being friends with you. And then you completely shat on their little peace offering by saying, fuck off, my mum doesn't want to do business with you, so I'm just going to do what she wanted me to do, but then also completely ignore the fact that she wouldn't want you to start a world war with another country.
No.
Like, Christ, she made some stupid fucking decisions, and it was all the bloody story writing's fault, and I'm so mad at stupid movie.
Yeah.
Oh
Anyway.
my god. And then like the fight on the ocean, and then she basically almost fucking kills Namor, and then right at the end changes her mind for no explicit reason, and then it's like, oh, we made up, you guys, and everyone's like, yay, good job, Shuri.
Also,
I'm like, are you
how did
fucking
she-
for real right now?
How did she get like severely stabbed in the abdomen, but then be okay to just keep moving around after a little while?
She has plot armor.
No, she didn't.
Yeah.
She got stabbed through the plot armor. She made that vibranium suit,
Yeah.
and she never did. She she did use that.
It's a nanotech vibranium suit, but then it
Sure.
like closed up around the hole, so maybe that did something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it-
Literal plot armor.
Yes, a spear through someone is just a minor annoyance if required.
And also, yes, heart-shaped herb. So
Oh yeah. Now we can
Sure.
3D print that shit. Okay.
like that was one of those things. I was like, really?
Oh,
That's
dear.
how we're doing that? Okay,
Yeah.
Yep.
cool. Not actually just trying to regrow it or genetically,
Yeah. If you just type on a computer enough, you'll be able to do it.
and then you'll get white balls that become red balls that then become green balls, and everything's fine.
Yeah. Science.
She's science.
I'm gonna be the guy from Ancient Aliens, except my thing is science.
Yeah, how come she
Um,
paid attention to a lot of science in the movie, but not a lot of science in real life? Oh dear.
Also, yeah, Predacanga, I'm with you. I really thought Nakia being in the room when that happened, like, surely she was a better option to become the Black Panther than Shuri. I don't know why the default option was Shuri to be the Black Panther. Like, what the fuck?
because it was
There's
in
so
the
many other
comics.
eligible people to be Black Panther over her.
and also wasn't part of the now was it to be the Panther or was it to be the King that you had to get rid of your powers and fight against somebody on the waterfall?
That's to
Yeah.
become the king.
That's
Well,
king.
the ruler.
Okay.
The
The
ruler.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
we get.
So yeah,
Mbaku
at the
there.
end she forfeits having to battle. So I
She's-
don't think
she's-
anyone's going to best Mbaku. So I'd
No.
assume that he's
Yeah.
taking over from now.
Also, I kind of
And
really
I'm
like.
fine with that.
I kind of really like his character development from the first film through to this one, which is just like island kingdom, a bit North Korea-ish, and then
Yeah, he's a lovable idiot.
and then
but
then he's also taken on that responsibility of I am going to work very hard to protect the people and encourage the protection of Wakanda, not because I want to be
Yeah.
Black Panther and a hero. I'm just going to be a good king.
as much as
Um,
he wants to be a border tribe and not get involved in all the politics and stuff. I still love that he was there to support Shuri after fucking Ramonda died. Why the fuck did they kill her? That was so stupid.
Because
you know,
Shuri,
to
they had to have
kinda-
a power vacuum for Shuri to step up
Yeah.
into. But then also why we had to have that happen, and then also like that they depowered Okoye. They removed her from the story for no particularly good reason, I might
No.
add.
No.
I mean,
Because
you
they
got to
needed
have,
her to not be a potential Black Panther.
you got to
Because
have a
she
very
fucking should have been.
angry Angela Bassett, and that was fine.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they couldn't have had a few Black Panthers in general. Maybe if they just
Yeah,
made,
it's like let's all be the Black Panther.
yeah, maybe if they
We're
had
a
just
bunch
made,
of strong black women that don't need no men. Let's all be the Black Panther.
the
Like,
Dora
why does it have
Milaje
to be one person?
we could have all become Black Panther, and the Black Panther is kind of like the Phantom, shows up everywhere. You don't know who it is.
Yeah.
That would have been fine.
Yeah.
Should we talk about that really shitty post-credit scene that just like cashed in on all the worst tropes you could ever imagine?
But also completely undid everything in the entire film of so we are in spoiler territory. So yeah, sure.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
heavy
Shuri
spoilers here.
becomes the Black Panther after
Here's a
going through
movie
her own
of women doing it for themselves,
yeah.
and they're like, we have a secret boy that's going to take over.
Yeah. He's also named exactly as the same person from the first one.
Because I have no imagination when it comes to naming children. So here's a baby T'Challa.
Yeah.
But also,
Hi
what a
hi
way
Shuri.
to make Nakia mean less.
Oh,
the fact that
not
up
just
until this point,
Nakia, but also Shuri. Like, let's just undermine these women completely by introducing an illegitimate child.
Also, if they were going to be following,
I want Nakia to be a really interesting badass character. But in the first film, she kind of got sidelined. In this film, she got fucking sidelined even more.
I know
But
if
then just-
Peter had watched this movie and discovered that there had been a child, and now they've defined Nakia as a mother, she's gonna fucking flip.
I
it
mean,
would just be a wall of but why.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad that this wasn't made with European sensibilities, because if this had happened according to European royal tradition, Shuri would have immediately started trying to kill her nephew so that he wouldn't take over from her, because she's the power now. But I mean, what a stupid way to try to.
As soon as I
throw
saw her
this back
coming down the
in.
hill with a kid, I'm like, you better fuck off right now. They're like, guess who this is? I'm like, fucking get
Really?
out of here.
Really?
I mean,
Jesus.
the only way that it could possibly redeem itself is in Black Panther 3. He grows up, he becomes T'Challa, and he is the Black Panther. but then he marries Storm, like in the comics.
Yeah.
And that's better. And then Storm becomes the Queen of
Queen
Wakanda.
of Wakanda.
But Storm is still played by Angela Bassett. There you
Wait,
go.
no, you mean Halle Berry?
No, Angela Bassett. She just comes back and she's like, I am queen again.
Okay.
Come on.
Weird
Weird.
flex, but okay.
Yes, everyone.
I mean,
So anyway, that's why we hated Wakanda Forever.
not
And I'm so
hated.
disappointed to say it.
I
Yeah.
know. I don't want to hate a Marvel movie, but
No, I especially don't want to hate a sequel to Black Panther because I
Yeah.
fucking love Black Panther, and I have this super clear memory of going to watch Black Panther at like event cinemas in the middle of the city, and seeing this huge big group of African people who had come to watch the movie, and they were dressed in their absolute best. Like it was their church going Sunday best, and it was colorful, and they looked amazing, and I was like, fuck yes, this is what representation in a film can do, is allow people to see themselves and do it in a way that is exciting and beautiful and everything like that. And there's a part of me that was like, yeah, I hope that that's what Latino people can get from this, and Mexican people can get from this with Namor, but the film itself is just such a fucking mess that I don't think it's gonna do that.
I mean,
yeah.
this okay.
Can't speak for them, but I really don't
No.
think that like the 5 seconds of the Spanish invasion being addressed was anything to help with any
Yeah.
sort of healing.
That's
No,
what I
I
said. Like,
actually had a brief moment there where I thought, like, if Namor had learnt some Spanish or something like that, and that gave him the phrase Imperius Rex or something like that,
Imperius Rex is Latin though.
I know, but
But
it's
Christianity,
like Spanish is the
Spanish.
root of.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
it's a
stretch,
stretch. Yeah, it's all I'm going to say is, like, I reckon, like, in terms of Phase 4, Phase 4 is the phase of television shows over movies. Like in Phase 4,
yeah, because I didn't want to fucking hate a Ragnarok sequel, and I did.
yeah. I didn't. Eternals was pointless. Black Widow was kind of a bit dull, although if you want to watch a really
Fair
good,
enough.
if you want to watch a good Black Widow film, go and watch Red Sparrow.
That's the movie that Black Widow should have been.
Shang-Chi was.
Shang-Chi was great.
cool. Yeah, Shang-Chi
That's
was good.
the shining beacon of Phase 4 was
Well, what
Shang-Chi.
about Spider-Man: No Way Home?
That wasn't Phase 4, was it?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. It was the end of Endgame.
Yes,
like,
it
what
is.
Did they...
It's in the Phase 4. Like I'm reading
Okay.
it.
Oh, no, you're right.
I'm
Okay.
reading it right now.
Yeah, no, you're right. Okay.
Doctor Strange
No
in
Way
the
Home for
Multiverse
me
of Madness
was
was
a high point.
higher.
Yeah, sure. No Way Home and Shang-Chi.
I'm more sympathetic to the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness now, on reflection, given the rest of the films that are in that phase. But the TV shows in this are amazing.
Yes.
Like, Phase 4 TV shows is where it stands out. Like all of the TV shows that came out were great, but the movies were pretty bad. So interesting to see how they're going to come back now.
Yeah.
Whether or not
I'm
it will.
just looking through the list, and it really is a very, very ropey fucking list, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not even excited by Phase 5 or Phase 6.
I don't know. Quantumania trailer.
Yeah,
alright.
okay.
Yeah.
Quantumania looks good. And I'm still like, hey, we don't know what's going to happen in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and Marvel's could be okay, but the new Captain America, Thunderbolts movie, even the Blade movie, I'm like, I don't care. I really don't care. They like.
I think
Marvel's
they
gonna
peaked in Phase 3, guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean now, but like, how long's it been now? Is it 20 years? 18 years?
No. 2008.
2008.
Oh, sorry. I go all the way back to the original, like Marvel.
No.
We're talking
X-Men
MCU,
kind of
dude.
thing.
It
Oh,
starts in
MC.
2008.
Still like that's 10 years. I'm getting a bit of a decade of
14 years.
14 years. Sorry, yeah, I'm getting a bit of a long. See, look at it. It feels like 20 years. It feels like it's been 20 years of movies, and now I'm like, okay, I'm done now. I need a little bit of a break, and unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get one.
No, it's a juggernaut now.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, look, swings and roundabouts. Things, westerns come and go, pirate movies come and go. Marvel movies come and go. The only thing that stays the same is Star Wars, pinnacle of filmmaking.
Hang on, sorry. Where is it? Just donk you a little bit.
Yeah.
Donk.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, look.
Star Wars, Star Trek, it will be eternal.
Oh, yeah, Star
What do you mean?
Trek has never hurt me.
Deep Space
Mm.
Nine is just, a poor imitation of Babylon 5, and I will hear nothing about it.
Oh, get out. Sorry, this is completely off topic for this, but
I think we finished talking about the movie anyway.
yeah,
so.
I think you're
Yeah.
right. I think you know what? If you're gonna go see it, cool, go and see it. But
If you're a
lower your expectations.
completionist, off you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to don't have to run out and go see this. There's no reason.
Don't go to Gold Class. That's for sure.
No.
Yeah. No, I watched an episode of Star Trek. Star Trek Prodigy, which is the animated tweenish kind of series.
Yeah. What's that on?
Which it's on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're up to episode 13 or something. It's occasionally fun, sometimes really shit. It's got like a hologram of Janeway that's actually voiced by Janeway, whose name I've just
Kate
completely forgotten.
Mulgrew.
Kate Mulgrew, thank you. But there's the latest episode of it is one of the most beautiful love letters to the original series I've ever seen, and it was a love letter to every red shirt ever, and I was
Aw.
like, this is fucking great. Like, even though I know it's aimed at kids and everything, like, or teenagers and everything, it's really fucking entertaining. So, Trek's always been there.
Yeah. I just
Ish.
finished
I
the
mean-
latest season of Lower Decks, and I was disappointed it was only 10 episodes.
Me
'cause I
too.
could just keep watching
I
that
could just watch the
forever.
shit out of that
Fucking
forever.
love that show
It's
so
so
much.
good.
I mean, I don't need to remind you about all of the terrible Trekness. It exists in its own way. So, Enterprise. Fuck off. The entire season of Enterprise, the whole
Fuck
thing.
you.
It's been a long road
It's been
getting from there to here.
I will not hear a bad thing about Enterprise
Vija?
at all.
Star Trek
no, I will hear a bad
Generations.
thing about Enterprise because that last episode is fucking vile.
Oh, look, all right, it didn't end well.
No.
But
Even
I love
Voyager's
all
got a lot
Star
of stuff.
Trek.
I'm currently, and yes,
Fuck
I know
off.
people are sitting there
Voyager's the
having a go
best.
at DS9.
Actually,
Jesus.
I'm
Prodigy,
doing it-
Prodigy is the spiritual successor to Voyager. So
oh,
if-
I'll love it then.
like
I'm-
yeah, so there's Kate Mulgrew, there's Chakotay, there's some stuff going on.
Fuck
there.
yes.
I'm
so
doing
you should probably get on
Tuvok in it.
that
Is
bad
Tuvok there?
boy. Not yet,
I'm doing a
but
quick.
You should check that out.
I'm doing a quick.
Is
skip-
O'Brien there?
Fuck, I hope not.
I'm doing a quick skip through of DS9 by watching the Mashable essentials list. So I'm kind of watching
Oh,
the
okay.
essentials, and I'm up to season 5 now. I think I just went through the Tribble episode, which was quite fun. The way they intercut that into the old original series. So yeah, it's interesting. But I'm also I realize because I'm watching the quick list, there's a bunch of boring plot stuff that I'm like, wait, why is he a prophet? I don't know anything about that. I need to read the Wikipedia. I don't know what's going on. Speaking of things to catch up on, we have to do a change to the schedule. Yeah,
Swapperoo next week.
Swapperoony. I'll have to update it on the thing, but we're not doing Star Wars next week. No, we're going to let Andor finish, and then we're going to
/or.
review Star Wars because I don't. Apart from me not being able to make it next week, I don't think I want to talk about Andor without seeing the whole thing.
Sure.
No,
We'll put that a bit later.
And
So-
also, Peter hasn't seen any of Andor yet. We would kind of like her opinion as well. So.
oh yeah, I mean, do we really? No.
Everyone her butt wise.
So next week, what are we going to do? What are you gonna-
Disenchanted.
Disenchanted.
Much like we were watching this film.
Ah.
It comes out this Friday on Disney Plus.
Yep.
The long-awaited sequel to Enchanted.
So
Probably my favorite movie. I've watched that anytime it's on. Freaking
Okay,
love
nice.
Enchanted.
yeah,
Not a rom-com girl, but fuck, I love Enchanted so much.
yeah. So
Excellent.
next week, 22nd, we're gonna you're gonna do Disenchanted,
Disenchanted.
and then the 29th.
I think I'll just have to rewatch Enchanted again on the weekend.
sure
Yeah,
do
you look
both.
so sad about that.
Do
Yeah.
Enchanted and
I think I'm just in
Disenchanted.
love with Amy Adams. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And and then don't forget to get onto the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. But then straight after that, it's going to be the first episode of Willow.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Which
don't
I am
forget about
excited
that one.
it.
I have no reference to the original. I've
Oh.
never seen it.
Oh, man. Okay. You
I
should...
had a deprived childhood.
That's
I've
something we're going to
never
have to remedy,
been-
Jill.
Yeah, I've
Willow is
never
good shit.
been exposed to seminal classics when I was a child. So,
Huh.
yeah.
Can you never say seminal again? It makes me feel weird.
Shall I say it's seminal instead?
Much better.
Yes, that's much better, actually. Perfect.
Poor old Doc Forrest is having difficulty with our thing, so he may have missed the fact that we're not doing Andor next week. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry,
Well,
Doc.
don't worry. We'll update the schedule. We're not doing and or. We're
No.
doing
No,
Disenchanted.
and/or.
And
Yes.
or slash or. And God, for God's sakes, if you haven't seen Willow, it's not hard to find.
On
Just
Disney
go
Plus.
and watch Willow.
Sure, but why should I care?
Because it's quite good, actually.
It's Lucasfilm doing a fantasy movie in the 80s with all of the best, magical effects and goofiness that Lucasfilm could pull out in the 80s.
Yep. And stop motion Ray Harryhausen shit. And
it's got fucking Iceman. No.
yes,
Yes.
Iceman. Yeah, Val
from-
Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer at his sexiest and coolest and
Yes.
funniest.
It is. And
By
and,
far.
and his ex-wife Joanne Wally Kilmer.
Is this before Batman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Val Kilmer as Mad Mardigan is one of the fucking great joys of cinema.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, and also, yeah, you're right. They're filmed in New Zealand. It was one of the first New Zealandish films.
I don't know, maybe I'll watch it.
Yep, it's got a lot of cool fantasy in it. Yeah.
Good fun.
Yeah, and also brownies, which I thought were great.
Bikini.
Yes. All right, you'll get there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us for the chat, which
Yes.
I fixed. I managed to fix it. It's fixed
Yeah,
now.
well done.
It turned up.
Yay.
Hooray!
Hope you enjoyed the rant.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that it wasn't more interesting than. But we can only be honest. So sorry, Black Panther, Wakanda
Yeah.
Forever, not great.
Yeah.
Important because you get to see how people trying to deal with the as I said, I'm very forgiving of the film because it would have been such a pain to make with all the challenges, but also when you put it together, it's like, oh wow, this is just too many films in one. Just should pick one storyline.
I think all the rivers in Wakanda just run to denial.
right.
Oh, we're gonna go and raid Barjo, aren't we?
Sure. Let's get out of here
Oh,
before
Jill, that
Jill
was
makes any
shocking.
more terrible
Yeah, I love
jokes. Terrible jokes. Thanks,
Right.
everyone.
Okay,
We're
we're
gonna
going
go.
to go. Thank you, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud. Deep-powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have 'em teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. And martial arts from iron fist and wall. I'll dance her up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out Avengers assemble, not order up for Ethel. Yeah, we're out of cheeky now. Date Emma Frost and have her read my mind. Or Magdalena, her artifacts I find, and then we catch a symphony. It'll just be her and me. Call Bucky Barnes and arm wrestle for hours.